Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Revue Starlight episode 8. If you're watching it on Patreon, chances are it's a day early because I need to be somewhere on Monday and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to squeeze anything in, so I'm recording it on Sunday. Sunday, yeah. So that's gonna be a little bit early for you. For people who are watching it on YouTube, you will of course see it at its regular time 1 week later than my Patreon supporters do. With that out of the way, does anything really need to be said? uh, in the last episode, it was revealed that we are currently stuck in a time loop caused by none other than Dai Banana, because she wants the play from the last year to repeat itself. She wants to relive those moments in their entirety. And she didn't really strike me as the quote unquote villain of the show, but it seems it might be the case. Excuse me for a moment. Yeah, I needed to clean up the lens a little bit. I'm kind of at a loss of words, honestly. I usually have more things to say about previous episodes, but in this particular case, what is there that needs to be said? Besides the fact that now we have Hikari in the picture, and she is apparently a wrench thrown into Dai Banana's plans, and chances are Hikari was brought here by the giraffe. I think it was kind of implied that that's the case. Some weird shit is going on. That's one thing I can be certain of. And just regular flat white. Right. The scene at the end where Banana decided that she wants Hikari in her play, which would kinda explain why she moved to the backstage group, right? So that Hikari can have a spot in the play. Because I'm assuming someone would have to drop out one way or another because there's only so many roles to fill. And last year they managed to fill all of them, and this year they have an additional student. So someone would have to drop off, and since Banana decided that she wants Hikari to play, she decided to drop off herself. But things are slowly crumbling apart when it comes to her plan, because the students from the backstage group, they want to see some changes. They no longer want to see Maya and Claudine as the leads, for example, right? But I don't think Banana cares. She believes, she thinks, she banks everything on the fact that she can just revert time. She can just start yet another time loop. So that is the actual plot of this season, revealed 7 episodes in. Escaping the time loop. This show really is something else, isn't it? And every single episode proves it. What can I expect from today's episode? I genuinely have no clue. I think there was some preview or something, but I've already forgotten because Banana, being the timey-wimey shenanigans mastermind behind it all, overshadowed everything else that was there in that episode. What made her this way? I don't know. Maybe we're gonna learn about it in this episode. Maybe she's gonna fight with Hikari. Maybe she's gonna fight with Karen. Maybe she's gonna be brought to the light side again, and she's gonna be convinced that, hey, yo, don't loop the time. Maybe she's gonna be set up as the final boss, and Hikari is gonna lose to her, and Karen will be the only one who can defeat her. I have absolutely no idea what's gonna happen. I have high expectations, but I don't have any precise expectations. That much for sure. I think I'm just gonna stop rambling. It's gonna be a very short intro, but I'm just gonna start the episode because I wanna know what happens next. Because I've no clue what direction it can take. I have absolutely no notion. A vague idea, sure, that Banana needs to be defeated, but besides that, nada, zilch. Okay. Episode 8 of Revue Starlight with subs by Ripple is going to be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, the star which you have longed for. Bit of a flashback, not flashback. We've seen this intro already, haven't we? Am I watching a repeat of some episodes? Is it not episode 8? It is episode 8. Am I tripping balls right now? I mean, so far it seems that it was Banana every year that was the one to claim the star. Hmm. I'm watching this OP now, looking for something that might have pointed me to believe that Banana is going to be the star of the show. That she's going to be the driving force, the mastermind. But nothing really frames her as such, not even in hindsight. They really kept that a secret, didn't they? They didn't let even a whimper of a clue. Whomst. That's not the dorms. And my camera froze. Is that Hikari's sister or something? God fucking damn it. Okay, we're back. No, it's Hikari. Is this some alternate reality? Is it... Uh... Or is it like back in the days? either a flashback. Okay, it's a flashback because she did go to another school. Mm-hmm. Was she scouted by the giraffe in her previous school for the sole reason of knocking Banana down a peg? Or is it just gonna be like a 100% flashback episode? Dun dun. Oh, that's the playground they were on during the episode where Hikari disappeared from the dorms. Yeah, this is the playground. The playground by Tokyo Tower or whatever that building is. I mean, she's not wrong. Ah, poor Karen. Yep, not a promise, a destiny. Interesting that she herself seems to have forgotten about it. Kinda sorta. In one of the previous episodes, right? Karen had to remind her of the promise they made. And they bought hairpins for each other. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, is that the giraffe? It is the giraffe. English speaking giraffe. Wakarimasu. Okay, so it's something worldwide, and probably something that happens everywhere all at once. And the giraffe can be everywhere at once. He really is a fucking endless nameless. That giraffe really is a chaos deity of some sort, I swear. Yeah, don't get cocky. Did they pick a giraffe for the animal only because a giraffe's neck and head look like number one? I couldn't find any other like symbolism of a giraffe. Is it is it because of number one? Don't tell me it's. Don't tell me I'm right. I don't wanna be right. But at the same time, it would be weirdly on brand, gotta admit. Hmm. After auditions and you lose your memory of them? Could it be? Ratta. You lost your spark? You lost your glimmer? The consequence of losing. The consequence of losing a review. Is that it? I love the scenography, by the by. But nobody else seems to be affected this way. Is it something about Hikari that she's not gonna be able to fulfill the promise she made with Karen? Or is it actually the consequence of being the second in the review? Your promise with Karen. Yep. Oh, giraffe skeleton. And there's that pink light. More pink light. But nobody else seems to have it stolen from them. She seems to have been the only one affected on stage. Glimmer from all of the participants gets amassed and pushed into the winner. I think that's it. Losers lose their glimmer, and the winner gains it all. That's what he desires. Yes, he wants to witness that. Revue of Solitude. Hikari versus herself? No, Hikari versus Banana. Revue of Solitude makes sense, I guess. Both Hikari is lonely in some sense, and Banana. She's the only one who knows what's going on, so she's alone in that. It's a dagger, technically. Is this even the same voice actress? I'm sorry, I'm not saying anything, but the very same scene, the same stage, except the background is much more realistic. Yep. So remember that moment. Remember that promise and steel yourself. Exactly. Exactly. You have something to fight for. What Banana fights for is completely superficial. What you fight for has some depth to it. Yeah, okay, I understand why she didn't want Karen to take place in those auditions now. Because she plans to win, but she doesn't want to take Karen's glimmer away. If only Karen didn't take part in those auditions, she would not be so apprehensive. But Karen found a way, seemingly, that perhaps just perhaps, just maybe, they can put on the best performance together and shine together. Yep. And the scene reacts to Hikari. Remember that the scene itself reacts to people's emotions and their glimmer. Just casually dropping upside down Tokyo Tower from the top of Tokyo Tower, why not? Okay, just a barely miss. Ooh, ooh! That's some cool effects. Is Banana going to lose, or are they going to subvert that and she's gonna win anyway? That's some great combat choreography. Who won, who lost? Okay, her baton is still intact, so did Banana lose? Or is she. No, Banana lost. For the first time in. Who the fuck knows how long, honestly? Because of all the timey-wimey shenanigans, who the fuck knows how long? Okay, so we are out of the time loop. Banana cannot wish for another time loop. Or can she? It wasn't the final review, so. That was a very old episode. And my commentary probably sucked. This was probably the weirdest episode of them all so far. Even the previous episode was fairly standard. I guess like it followed some, cause and effect, standard storytelling practices. This episode was very, very odd. We're gonna go through it again, and I'm gonna try to figure out what is it exactly that I feel about it. Hmm. I don't dislike it. Like, don't get me wrong. But it really does leave me feeling a little uneasy. And I think that was the purpose. I think that was the goal of everything they did, like storytelling wise and pacing wise and whatnot, to elicit that feeling of uneasiness. Okay, preview. Maya first, Claudine second, Hikari third, Karen is climbing, Banana still in the fourth. Well, I fucking don't. I see. What a doozy. Ah, Let's go through it again, shall we? What else? What else can I say? But let's relieve it. Why not? I gotta Google one more thing real quick. Okay, yeah, I'm good. Right. As I said, let's go through it again. Uh, that's the wrong window. There we go. I wanted OBS. Thank you. OBS and the list of characters. Okay, we're good. There's a lot going on in this episode. Many seemingly disjointed things, disjointed scenes, disjointed, I don't know, fragments. They are connected, but only just barely. And I think it was on purpose. Everything is very vague chronologically, right? We are reusing this scene, or at least like partially reusing it, with young Hikari and young Karen watching their older selves play star in the Revue. It's as if them watching their older selves star in the Revue is what made them want to star in the not in the Revue, in the Starlight. Them witnessing their older selves playing in the Starlight made them want to take part in Starlight. I've been staring at the opening intently, trying to figure out anything that would tell me that Dai Banana was meant to be the quote-unquote villain, the quote-unquote mastermind, but I didn't find anything like that. There really aren't any hints in the OP, not from what I can tell. I might be missing something, but there aren't any hints to things like missing, like losing your glimmer, like the giraffe being a Lovecraftian deity. Nothing of the sort. When it comes to Banana, it kind of makes sense because I don't think she was like a mastermind kind of thing. It I'm not sure because the review still isn't done. But I'm left wondering, is the thing with Banana something that will continue throughout the season? Or are we done with that? I don't think we are. I don't think we are because Banana hasn't worked it out. So far, there hasn't been anyone who would be. I'm not sure if I'm like right to use this word here, but irredeemable, like irredeemably villainous, so to speak. There isn't anybody like that. There isn't even a villain. Honestly, you could say that it's Maya, but no, not really. And everybody's problems, everybody's issues are being worked through. That is like one single constant in this show. That everybody eventually ends up better than they like started at, right? Junna is now in a better position after meeting Karen. Futaba and Kaoruko worked out some things between them. Karen and Mahiru also worked out some things between them. Karen reminded Hikari of the promise they made and that they will be on the stage together. Claudine, Maya, everybody is in some way like better for it. Banana isn't yet. That leads me to believe that her arc, her story isn't done yet. Whether it's going to be something that goes like that spans the entire season, or is it gonna be something that concludes in the next episode, or within the span of the next few episodes, I don't know. But I can be pretty much certain that we will work through Banana's odd behavior and its sources, and she's gonna be somehow made more sane, I guess. Hmm. Yeah, initially I wasn't sure what am I looking at here. I thought it might be like Hikari's sister back at home, but no, it is Hikari X years in the past. Right, the 99th Starlight, and she's going to a different school in London, or Dondon, as Karen put it. Bakery Express, completely different school in London that still hosts the Revue. And of course, Hikari wants to be the best. Supporting role in a regularly scheduled play is not enough. She wants to be special, really special. She wants to become even better, even more refined, so that she can stand on top of the stage together with Karen. That's her motivation. But she's also kind of losing herself in it, I guess. Also, I just noticed uh, pink light, pink light, pink light. Those pink lights are everywhere. Pink light, pink light, two of them, more pink light. Yeah, that is the playground. It's not a promise, it's destiny. And even the giraffe later said that the destined girls. So it might be true that they are actually destined in one way or another to take the top of the stage together. Another instance of pink light, more pink light. It's everywhere, isn't it? Is it here? No, there's no pink light here. Huh. Is this like manifestation of glimmer, or is it just like a purely artistic thing they added to tie everything in with the Revue, where the pillar with the pink lights like the central point? Yeah, they bought hairpins for each other. And here's the Revue. The Revue in London. The path to becoming a top star will open. Hmm. The views are enchanting, stage performances with songs and dances. It is most definitely a giraffe. Song and dance woven into a mesmerizing play. Yep. We'll now be holding auditions. Whoever puts on the brightest shining Revue, the star tiara will be bestowed, and the path to becoming the top star will open up. The one who will stand on the stage of destiny, emitting an infinite glimmer, unleashing their full potential. I think I'm correct in my assumption that it's kind of like gambling, right? You put your own glimmer at stake, and the winner takes all. I'm gonna note it down. I don't know if we're gonna get like a straightforward confirmation for that or not, but uh, but sure. The previous theory was that the giraffe is an elder god feeding on glimmer. Now I'm not sure about it. How should I say it? Reviews are gambling, stake your glimmer, winner takes all. I think that's like the most probable explanation. Yeah, I think that's it. The eternal lead, and everything was going fine until she was eventually defeated, and she lost weight, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think she did, and that's interesting. That what happened with Judy. It's ridiculous how good she's become suddenly. So it's not like even slightly metaphorical. If you win, you like automatically become better. It's not that uh, people around start noticing your talent, or they are more inclined to cast you or anything like that. No, you just straight out become better. You get a stat boost, you get plus 10 to dancing, plus 10 to singing, plus 10 to acting, plus 10 to speech, plus 10 to pronunciation, plus 10 to everything, and you automatically become better. Interesting. On one hand, it feels almost too straightforward. Yeah, a little bit too straightforward. I kind of expected something more metaphysical, metaphorical from this show, rather than, the path to greatness being open to you. I expected something more, not just, yeah, you just become better. And, hmm, interesting. Interesting. I don't dislike it necessarily, but I expected something different. And yeah, she lost her glimmer. Hmm. She lost her passion, she lost her emotions on stage, she lost her will to act. Interesting that even the lead is surprised. The one who won the review, it's her, right? Has to be. Yeah, it's her. Even she who won the review is surprised that Hikari is suddenly so apathetic. I don't think anybody actually knows what the stakes are. She didn't know that by winning, she will take the glimmer of all of the losers. Of all of the losers, or just of the second place? I'm not sure if the people behind her also took part in the review. Yeah, we weren't shown much of this review, were we? Because I'm not sure if everybody was affected the same way Hikari was. If everybody actually also lost their glimmer. Or is it just something that happens to the second place? Or is it just Hikari beating herself up? She didn't really lose any glimmer. It wasn't like the giraffe just put a syringe in her arm, took out her glimmer, and injected it into the winner. Hikari just was hoping to win, hoping to be the best so that she can stand at the top with Karen. But oh no, I lost. And she just, falls into depression, essentially. It's because we haven't seen much of this review. I'm not sure if it's something that actually affected everybody, or is it just Hikari just wallowing in pity. What is it that I've lost? Yeah, you lost your drive. You lost your glimmer. What's wrong with me? I called our promise that thing. If we lose, we'll have it all stolen from us. That leads me to believe, or rather, the writers of the show want me to believe right now, that glimmer is actually like some form of energy or something that can be transferred between individuals and whatnot. But it's still left fairly vague because it's Hikari's interpretation. Or does the giraffe confirm it? What does the giraffe say? Approaches a glimmer and everything else. Yeah. The giraffe just says, I understand. You tricked me. Okay, yeah, so the giraffe confirms it. The birth of a top star requires a fair amount of fuel, you see. You mean that's glimmer you stole from me? Does the giraffe confirm? I failed to predict that this much glimmer would remain. Uh, did the giraffe think he sucked Hikari dry of her glimmer? And it's unexpected that she had enough left to find the drive to go back to the stage to have this conversation? Is it connected to the promise somehow? Did Hikari remembering the promise made her regenerate some of her glimmer, quote unquote? Yeah, I think that might be it. Yeah, it really is. It really is gambling with your glimmer, and the winner takes all. But Hikari managed to either save up some glimmer or restore some glimmer thanks to the promise she made with Karen. And the giraffe just wants to witness a stage of destiny where no one can predict what will happen. I I have a theory that the giraffe is an elder god, and I stand by it. I fully stand by it. And we go directly to now. From the past directly to now. Not just any sort of now, but directly to Revue against Banana. Without any preparation, without any prelude, without anything that would precede that. We just jump straight into fight with Banana. Revue of Solitude. The vow we made that they fell into the abyss. Slipping through my firmly raised hands. The vow we made that they fell into the abyss. I once again climbed towards my stage of destiny. Even if it must end in tragedy, the tragedy being Hikari having to fight against Karen. That's going to be the finale, isn't it? Hikari versus Karen. It is all for the sake of Starlight. And Banana goes against her. Interesting that Hikari has the high ground. I think that signifies the fact that Hikari has actually something to fight for. And Banana is just going through the motions. I'm not entirely sure, but that's the vibe I'm getting. It'll be fine, don't be afraid. The sword you hold is trembling. Even a small glimmer. I bid farewell to this world, stepped in sorrow. I'll protect the people who matter to me. Okay, so that whole time loop seems to be not just Banana's uh, selfish thing, where she selfishly wants to repeat the time over and over again because it was a great time, she was having the best year of her life and whatnot, and she wants to relive it. She genuinely believes that by doing what she's doing, she's protecting her friends. She's not doing it out of malice. She's doing it out of misguided benevolence. Yeah, she believes that by constantly looping the time and constantly going through the best review, the best Starlight performance, she's doing everybody a service. Nobody will grow old. Nobody will, nobody will die. There won't be any chance of having a bad Starlight play because this one was the greatest. There won't be any bad one. Nothing. Those carefree school days won't ever end. She's doing it out of genuine care for her friends, however misguided it might be. What she doesn't realize is that she's doing it, one, against everybody's will, and two, people need to grow, and to grow, you need time. And if you are constantly stuck in a time loop, you don't have that progression. Everybody is reset, everybody besides Banana. Banana actually gets something out of those time loops. Everybody else just gets reset. Everybody else is just an accessory to Banana. She really feels like the kind of character who would keep the body of her deceased lover in a freezer to never have to part with them. I know it's a very gruesome comparison, but it really feels like she's this kind of character. Very yandere-ish vibes I'm getting from her. I'll turn back in the face of despair. And yeah, she says it outright that using her reenactment, she will save everybody. No sadness, no partings, no setbacks. Yeah. If we repeat the best year of our lives, we're never gonna have a bad time. Also, interesting that they decided to just kind of out of nowhere throw Karen's duel with Claudine here. Karen versus Claudine really feels like it should have gotten its own episode, and it seems to be slapped in the middle of it kind of out of nowhere. Kind of for the sole purpose of, yeah, having Karen answer what drives her. Having Karen answer that it's the promise. So that we know that it's mutual. I love the parallel to the scene where Hikari was fully powerless and glimmerless, laying down, and there was also that hand, but that hand was made of pieces of cardboard. In this example, it's probably like a genuine huge hand, like probably made of styrofoam or something, but much more robust, much more high definition, so to speak. And her hand is trembling the exact same way. But she remembers Karen, she remembers their promise, and she stills herself with a nice little snap of her wrist. Okay, let's go back. Let me see that snap. Kagura Hikari. Yep, twist and a snap. And she's perfectly still, no longer trembling. I won't ever lose again. And now, the entire stage, well, not now, but in a moment, the entire stage will play into it. Karen fights, Junna fights. Everybody fights for the same purpose. Yeah, she reminisces about what was going on. These auditions are winner takes all. Okay, so we have like literal confirmation that it is winner takes all. Why did I even make it a theory if we have a direct confirmation? I don't know. But it is what it is. And yeah, she sought to protect me. And indeed, the only solution seems to be for Hikari and Karen to pass together. Because if Hikari wins, but Karen loses, they won't be able to stand on the stage together. Because Karen, if Hikari wins, Hikari will take all of Karen's glimmer, and so Karen won't be able to stand beside her on the stage. If Karen wins, she will take Hikari's glimmer, so Hikari won't be able to stand next to her on the stage. That's a very catch-22 situation. The only solution does indeed seem to be that they have to pass together. If we shine the strongest together, that's another thing. They have to shine together. They have to shine stronger than they would individually. Because the winner is the one with the strongest shine, if I'm not mistaken. So if Karen has one shine and Hikari, okay, let's say Hikari has 100 shine and Karen has 100 shine and everybody else is like 70 to 90 ballpark, they both win, but they can't exactly both win, so one of them will be chosen by like 100th decimal place. But if when they are together, both of them shine at 150, then both of them will win. Because when they are together, each of them individually shines much brighter than they would shine individually when not together. Did you get any of what I just said? Yeah, fairly convoluted, I guess, but what I mean is they have to show the giraffe that it's best when they are together, essentially. And yeah, she gains her resolve fully, pushes Banana back, and the color changes entirely. Because now the scene responds to Hikari. It's no longer Banana's turn. Now it belongs to Hikari. Because she shines the brightest right now. Her glimmer is the strongest. And so the scene, the stage, listens to her. And her weapon evolves. Our dream is taking shape. Our shared starlight. Yep, our collective starlight is more than just the sum of its parts. It warps and twists. And it's a brand new, still a dagger, but it has a new look. Our dream is taking shape just as this dagger. Just like this dagger. The gem inside of her dagger is also much bigger. I didn't pay much attention, but I think everybody's weapon has like pink gem or purple gem, and Hikari's weapon has blue gem now. And our miniature Tokyo Tower is dropping down from the big Tokyo Tower. Revue Act 2. It even says so. We're swapping the power dynamic. It's time for the Act 2. Blooming the star, and the star indeed shines in the middle of the scene. Can I just say how I love those wide, big shots in this series? We see it earlier with them overlooking the stage, Hikari and the giraffe overlooking the stage. We see it when Karen first arrives. Just, tiny little people. People in this case aren't even visible here, and just the sheer scale of it all. I rarely ever see scale represented this well in anime. This is really something else. Okay, what did the giraffe say? Remaking of Glimmer. Yep, it seems like Hikari just got recharged with Glimmer. Perhaps you don't have to lose it. Even if you lose Revue, you can restore it. You can somehow regrow it. Now it has started to bloom in full. Some amazing action scenes. I don't wanna play through them too much because I don't want this video to be copy claimed and whatnot, but some amazing, amazing action. She just uses it to propel herself. Bada bing, bada boom. The dust falls. Position 0. Hikari wins. Karen wins. They're climbing faster and faster towards the top. The play Starlight is a tragedy. You can't avoid parting in the end. Will you fight on, even if Karen-chan? Even if you must fight her one day? Yes, she will. And they will find a way to stand on that stage together. Maya still in the first. Claudine in second. Hikari climbed to the third. Banana stays where she stood. And Karen. Karen in the fourth place. Tied with Banana, I guess. On the night of the Star Festival. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know what to think of this episode. It was very disjointed at moments. Now, let me preface it all saying that I did enjoy it. I genuinely did. But I can't shake off the feeling that it was very weird. Very odd. Hmm. I don't know, it's somehow. I think it feels odd because there wasn't enough, direct setup, I guess. Usually we see some direct setup to the fight first, And then the fight, the review happens. In this case, we went from flashback directly to the fight with Banana, which was kind of jarring, kind of abrupt, a little bit of a whiplash. But I think that was purposeful. I don't think it was something, some like pacing error or anything of the sort. It was done on purpose. Uh, I want to see. Did episode 8 get any like a different um, producer or something? I'm gonna go briefly through them. Episode director. Yep, episode director and storyboarder for episode 8, where episode director was unique. Fumiaki Kota only directed episode 8 and also storyboarded episode 8. A lot of people only key animated episode 8 from what I see. That's key animation, key animation, key animation, special effects, background art. Okay. Interesting that Fumiaki Kota was the... Huh. Oh, that's a lot of roles. Mostly just key animation and in-betweens. Key animation, key animation, key animation, key animation. Key. Episode director in Tsukite Linayo and storyboarder for that very same show. Action director in Symphogear GX. Key animation in One Punch Man episode 12. Key animation, key animation. Episode director of episode 10 of JoJo, Diamond is Unbreakable. Episode director anywhere else? Yeah, episode director of episode 8 of Shoujo Kageki Revue Starlight. Assistant director on Symphogear XV. That's his pretty much only role as an episode director. Interesting. Yeah, this episode really felt weird. Yeah, I really don't know what to think of it. We did get a cool fight. We did get some explanations and some confirmations as to what the review is. That it's not just some metaphysical, metaphorical way to the top, something that opens your way to the top, but something that actually gives you the glimmer of all the people who also took part in that review with you, and you are gaining strength at the cost of other people's strengths. We got the stakes increased significantly, because sure, the previous episode established that the stakes for like winning can be significant, because if you win you can just wish to turn back time, which is, well, not insignificant certainly. But today we also learned that you just genuinely lose your drive, you lose your love for the craft, you lose your emotions regarding that, you lose everything you were, basically, if you lose. And if you win, you gain that power from everybody else. That's some heavy stakes. And that makes me wonder, how is this all going to be solved? Because sure, the obvious way, the obvious ending for it is that Karen and Hikari manage to get to the top together and they win together, and they just suck out the glimmer of their fellow classmates and just share it between them, and they all become top stars. But that's a very bad ending for everybody else. That's a bad ending for Junna. That's a bad ending for Claudine, for Maya, for Banana, for everybody. And I don't think this is an anime that would be this cruel to its characters. So I think, did I note it down? Yeah, I did note it down that Karen manages to convince everyone that all of them can be at the top. That's how I had it noted down, because back then I still thought that the stakes aren't like literal. But now that we know that the stakes are literal, I reward it to Karen manages to find a way for everybody to retain their glimmer somehow. That's the only good ending there can be. Every other eventuality is bittersweet at best. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think I have anything more to say about it. There was a lot of setup in this episode, a lot of additional explanations, sure, a lot of additional um, stakes being established. We now know that those reviews are also taking place in other countries. And also, one more important thing actually, that Hikari regained her glimmer. First, she regained it partially, and she was able to confront the giraffe. And then, during her fight with Banana, she regained her glimmer pretty much entirely, to the point where she was able to shine brighter than Banana because the stage followed her, listened to her whims, adjusted to her play, to her performance. So perhaps glimmer isn't something finite. Perhaps even if you lose glimmer, you can still regain it. Now, what consequences of that would there be, and what impact would it have on how this series progresses? I honestly don't know. I think I'm kind of like the giraffe here. That I see that what's going on here cannot be predicted. It's unpredictable. You don't know where it's going to go. And I just want to witness it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna follow the wise words of the elder god, and uh, and I'm just going to focus on witnessing it because it is unpredictable. This show has proven time and again to be unpredictable. So I'm not going to try to predict anything besides what I can predict somewhat easily. I'm not going to try to get into some crazy theories out of nowhere because I cannot possibly predict them. Yeah, this episode definitely left me feeling weird. It definitely left me just a little bit shelved. Okay, I'm not gonna repeat myself in circles and going in loops. I'm not gonna waste your time, not gonna waste my time. I'm just going to end it here. If this reaction, if this episode sucked, I'm terribly sorry, but I was so captivated by what was going on the screen, and that I sometimes kind of forgot to talk. And in the end, I also kind of didn't have much to say about it. So terribly sorry for that, but it is what it is. Sometimes an anime will have an episode like that, and is it good, is it bad? That's not for me to decide. That's for you to decide, and maybe tell me down in the comments. down below what you thought of this episode, of my reaction, of my theories. Just again, I have to ask you to keep things spoiler free, please. I beg of you. I might be, going in loops and feeling weird and not understanding things, but that doesn't change the fact that I want to experience everything here myself by my own, completely blindly. After I'm done with this series, I might look up some additional info. I might look up someone else's reaction. I might rewatch it. I might ask you guys for clarification. If I do that, it will probably be on my Discord server, which you can join. But right now, as I'm in the process of watching it, I'd rather watch it purely blindly. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases, not just of Revue Starlight, but also of Symphogear G, Shokei Shoujo no Virgin Road. What else? Tatenusha no Nariagari Season 2, Spy X Family, Skeleton Knight in Another World. If you want to watch those, just click the bell icon, subscribe, all that jazz, you know what to do. If you want to support the channel monetarily, you can do that via Patreon, link in the description. For $10 to get early access to non-seasonal shows, which is Revue Starlight and Symphogear G. This time around, what comes next? I don't know. And for just $1, you get a role on my Discord server right here, and you also get a place in the credits, so that's also something you can get. And if you want to support the channel but not necessarily monetarily, you can also do that completely for free. If you just spread the word, if you share my videos, share my channel, and make more people witness my content. That also makes YouTube recommend my content more, and my viewer base grows and my Patreon base grows, and I'm a very happy camper because I can buy myself a ring light, or maybe finally afford a good proper camera instead of using my phone. Things like that, the little things that matter. And yeah, join my Discord. I said everything I needed to say, I think. So now the last thing to say that remains is that's gonna be it from me for today. And as always, do all the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Cheers. And here's the credits I mentioned. The list steadily grows and you can add to it.